Ezekiel J. Kralin goes by Zeke. He lives in San Francisco in a little apartment upstairs across the street from a coffee shop, and he puts the antenna of his computer's wireless access device in the window so that it can have a straight shot downstairs and across the street to use the Wi-Fi from the shop there. And that's how he listens to my show. And he's been sending me a story every week for months now, and I've been reading them aloud. Sometimes when I'm in Fort Bragg, I'm not in Fort Bragg right now. I'm doing the show by live remote from Juanita's apartment. But when I'm in Fort Bragg and I can take, as many telephone calls as I want to and not have to worry about waking the neighbors up, he calls and reads the story himself. But I'm at Juanita's, as I said, and so I'm going to read it for him tonight. This is titled Cruising Howards, and it's by Ezekiel J. Kralin, Krachlin. A gorgeous motorcycle dude with dense shocks of platinum hair that tumble to his shoulders enters Howard's Cafe and plunks his skull-stickered black helmet onto the counterside opposite this humble author. Wraparound Vuitton sunglasses complete the renegade stud look. A boner ensues. Fortunately, I wear baggy Red Hawk super work trousers, dark asbestos gray. I say fortunately because the twill cloth is just enough to pleasure my turgid wanger through checker-pattern boxer shorts, which I purchased 3 months ago on Stockton Street, Chinatown, at the bargain price of 3 GWs per 2 pair, for which low cost you shouldn't expect these shorts to endure more than 3 machine washes, by which time the skimpy thread about the elastic waistband unravels, so the boxers keep slipping down. Furthermore, the fly's edges fail to overlap once the little brown and white marbleized plastic button pops off after the first spin in the dryer. But to be honest, kind reader, the eternally open fly syndrome is most likely exacerbated by an abundance of girth and length of my spunky member, even when not aroused. Be that as it may, my cock flops readily through the boxer's parted fly like Moses traversing the Red Sea, I suppose, and affords me no end of lusty pleasure, braiding along the denim-shielded zipper of my work pants. Uber masculine. Never had it so sweet since my initial discovery years and years ago of orgasms, albeit dry, while climbing the poles of a swing set in my family's backyard. I must have been 11. Well, back to the motorcycle dude. Nordic stud muffin jerks off those Terminator shades to reveal a stunning set of luminous steel-gray irises drilling their psychic beams deep into the windows of my own soul with a lust inconceivable. This darling hottie then flashes the sexiest grin at my almost swooning self, a glint of pearly white. Through those full Aryan lips lightly parted, he forthwith booms in a thunderous voice, You handsome rover." No ear is spared, at least not at the horseshoe counter where patrons happily converse as well as dine, and perhaps a few of the nearest tables. An embarrassed hush falls upon the startled diners, who suddenly consume extra small bites off their plates in a brave attempt to remain civilized. Octogenarian Henrietta Wittershin lowers her face over a bowl of raisin plump oatmeal in order to feign deafness, but her usually chalked-up face now flushes pink. Other equally modest regulars do everything infinitely possible to avoid glaring at yours truly. The Harley-Davidson bad boy points a finger directly at me. My shaft grows super rigid. The fleshy, fat crown presses mercilessly against my crotch's stiff denim. The first tiny spurt of cum wets my boxers in sticky delight with a promise of copious wads of sperm about to burst at any moment from my centurion cannon. Good thing there's an SF Weekly on my lap. You hear me, gorgeous fucker. It's now absolutely clear beyond a doubt's shadow to everyone seated that the virile warlock of glacier-strewn fjords is addressing this lonely heart. I raise my sight back at those mercurial eyes, and he praises me to all the world. "I sure got a hot rod for you, buddy." I gulp in sensuous desire as my rigid cock explodes in glorious spasms, moistening my trousers all the way through. Talk about cream in my coffee. He smiles such a sunny grin I'm almost knocked off my swivel chair, but quickly gain balance thanks to the seat's spoke-ringed armature that secures me in place like a beloved soldier comrade sharing the same foxhole, the leather-clad Viking booms at me once more. Let me take you home, where my meaty tongue shall coat your quivering skin with an ecstasy beyond your craziest daydreams. He then pauses to sip some freshly brewed Howard's Java from a steaming cup that appears way too dainty and minuscule in the grip of his massively elegant hand. One argent eyebrow twists up in comical relief as he lowers his head to gaze up at me like a stray puppy. "Okay," he finishes. I take another nervous swallow of my ice water and discover the right words to express my utmost gratitude for his vibrantly intense proposition so publicly confessed. "Sounds incredible to me, girlfriend," I boom back, "but let's take this party elsewhere, that these fine Howard's patrons may once more enjoy their meal in peace and without burning their delicate ears to a cinder." With that, my knight in jet armor pays both our bills and escorts me out the door, his strong arm about my shoulders as he pecks me on the cheek and temple many times before climbing upon the chopper, whence he takes me swiftly home just 5 blocks away. The rest is blistery, Blisstory. Well, that was something.